And today's main thing is none other than Drake, of course. Iceman is back. He dropped 3 albums. He dissed LeBron. He dissed Kendrick,
Jay-Z,
Dr. Dre, I guess Jay-Z. I don't know. I can't keep track of all the disses. He's had multiple video releases with this rollout. Was this Drake? Was this the Drake that we thought we were going to get? Is Loverboy Drake over forever? What are you guys' thoughts and reactions on the 3 albums Drake dropped?
Womp womp. That's my official.
I agree. As I said before we started the show, these are some 3 quota filling ass albums. I know mid when I hear it, and this is full of mid. All 3 of them. Some shit. He's just trying to get out that deal. That's all he talks about is get out his deal. The song Free, he just want to be free. Let him go. Like, he's done now. Okay, we get it, Drake. You dropped the 3 albums. Your contract done. Thank you. Can you get back to making good music? Because these 3 albums was garbage to me.
I like the albums, particularly Iceman. I think that on Iceman, he, said a lot of things, directed at people that were very obvious. But also, I just thought that the songs were good. The beats were good. I thought the songs were good. I think the other 2 concept albums, Habibti and Maid of Honor, like those sound like projects in development. But the actual Iceman album, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say the same. I did like the Iceman album. I didn't really love the other 2 albums, though.
Okay.
I just felt like you said, they might have been underdeveloped. I think he could have worked on them a little bit more. But Iceman, I thought, was strong. I think he said a lot of things. He addressed a lot of things. And I think a question you said is like, what were we expecting from him? I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest. I think he had a heavy last 2 years, so I think he wanted to say a lot. I think he did. And I'm still kind of unpacking a lot of it, but ultimately I thought it was good.
Unpacking. I love I love that be unpacking Drake albums. Let me unpack this.
No. There's a lot of lines that I did not catch the first, second, or third time. Nah, it is. I mean,
of course. Like, Drake is a lyricist. I'm not on Drake and trying to say he's like a bad rapper. I was know
Aiden Ross with streams before Aiden Ross had streams. I mean, these are some the Khaled line for me is like chef. Like that's He's
even the YMCA line I thought was clever. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's just really clever ways to say things where it's just like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you put it together as village people, like that's his village. Like it makes sense if you once you kind of unpack it. You know
I'm not denying the fact that Drake is a good lyricist. His rapping ability, he hasn't lost that. I just think these 3 albums, specifically Maid of Honor and Habibti, were throwaways, full of throwaway songs. Iceman, whatever. I didn't really like that one either, but for sure the other 2 albums are throwaway albums, 1000%. Yeah. But he's still a good rapper. I still like Drake's music. Is he a lover boy still? No. That lover boy being gone. All he do is hate on women now. It's crazy. What happened to, he used to make songs for the girls, for the strippers. He used to make girl music.
He still got, what's the record that's like an ode to Mac Dre on this? There's a
something for something.
Yeah, he's still making those records.
It's not the same though.
And did you watch the videos?
No, I didn't watch the videos yet.
So that's the other thing, right? I think the videos are fire. The videos are like really dope. And especially, and I'm biased here, but especially the Storyboy P one. In the strip club, I just thought the project was
Drake's not gonna give you the love song, those songs, because I feel like a lot of those songs were him talking to Rihanna. And,
but even the Bria's interludes, like
Marvin's Room and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's long gone. He's not doing that. He don't like women like that no more. Not saying that he's gay. I'm just saying, he doesn't.
Red pill.
He doesn't. Yes, very red pill now.
I just feel like a lot of those songs, he was in a different part of his life. Like I think he's
for sure.
He's damn near a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like he is.
How
who he
dystopian
probably
is
wanna be.
that?
Drake's
You
like,
lose
Drake's
love
I'm
when
the
you become a
prize.
billionaire.
He's the prize, right?
Drake's
He's
like,
the
I'm the
catch.
prize.
He's the
That
fish.
literally, he's
He's the
literally that's
birthday.
all he says.
Drake's the birthday.
That's
you know?
all he conveys in all of his music is that he's the birthday, he's the prize.
Yeah, nah,
like
I can't
him.
I can't rap with no rap.
I mean,
this
it's
is the
his
birthday.
record.
Yeah, no.
Okay, but like it was his records back in the day too.
Right.
But it was, we want to
Listen, I'm not even like a Drake fan like that, but I think that if you wanna not like the projects, I think you have to embrace them a bit to say what you don't like, right? And I think that it's easy to hate on Drake, one, because of the whole Kendrick thing. He's low hanging fruit. He's an easy target. But if I'm being completely honest and I'm just like, all right, let me just listen to it objectively, right? I'm like, oh, like these are clever lines. These are good beats. Like it's, and I can't deny that, and I think it's important to, to maintain that, at least for me. Like when I'm listening to it, I'm like, Drake may not be my type of person, but when I listen to the record, I'm like, oh, but the record sounds good.
Just to get as close to objectivity as possible.
Yes.
I feel you on that because if I'm looking at the makeup of the whole project, the rollout, and even just sometimes even the titles of the tracks, I think is super interesting, right? like make them pay, make them remember.
Like he's trolling us.
I think it's so like it's and granted, right? Kendrick is hella cerebral, so it's like his stuff is very like. But I think Drake was kind of on that time as well. Like it felt like a timeline, low key, of just like his emotions and just.
You're just talking about Iceman.
I'm just talking about Iceman.
Just
right.
Iceman.
Okay. Let's make that distinction because the other two.
Just talking about Iceman.
I don't know. Like I said, I know people tend to hate on Drake. I don't dislike Drake. I still like Drake as an artist.
Right.
I still, when a Drake album drops, I still hope to hear good songs. Like I'm not hating on him just because people is hating on him.
What were the songs you liked though?
I didn't really like too many songs off Iceman. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I did like one of the ones, I forgot which the other album it was on, but I liked, what is it, Outside Tweaking. I think that was a cool little party song. But as a DJ though, I'm assuming you do, but you think Drake's music still hits? Like, do you think the albums hit? You think they're gonna get play in the clubs?
I mean, the albums, I think it's to be seen, but I think the record's absolutely gonna go. And it's funny because I was in LA when it dropped, and I was at a writing camp with a good homie of mine, PK, and he's my evil twin. Like as soon as he seen me, he's like, "Yo, you gotta run this Drake. Let's listen to it." So we going through. He's like, "Listen, you got the DJs, man. What you like it?" And honestly, man, it was kind of immediate, and maybe it's because of the environment too. Like when you're listening to it with a group of people, to me, it elevates the music. You know what I'm saying? I think certain things shouldn't be listened to by yourself. I think certain things require community to really feel it and embrace it. So like Shebang was the one where it's just like there was 4 of us and like he was doing his little dance and it just looked cool enough for me Shebang. To like Shebang's hard. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think in certain elements, in certain environments, I think the music kind of has this moment, versus when you just listen to it in your car, like you said earlier, like it may not hit as hard.
Yeah, like I like the records, but I don't necessarily like the way they make me feel, and which is in conflict, right? Because I don't want to be like, I don't want to be angry at anybody. I don't want to have the same chip. Like that's his chip, but I feel like that chip is passing to me a bit when I'm listening to the music. So that's why I'm careful with it. But the records sound good.
Yep. See, I think the thing with the Drake thing is like, I think we can all acknowledge he's super talented, deserves to be where he is in terms of where he is as an artist. I feel like the rollout kind of hurt the album for me because if these 3 albums came out of nowhere, maybe I wouldn't have any expectation of what he was about to do. But we see it he's riding around Toronto. He makes a big old ice block and he does all of this these theatrics to set up to this non-traditional rollout. So I'm thinking, at least to me, it looked like this is not what Drake normally does. Am I going to get an album that matches what he doesn't normally do? This sounded like recooked songs I have heard him do at high volume. It's like 50, almost 50 records of songs that I've heard him do before. I don't feel like I hear Kendrick's albums, and I hate to compare, but I have to compare. I don't feel like GNX didn't sound like 50 other Kendrick songs. Mr. Morale, whether you hate or love that album, doesn't sound like other Kendrick songs. Kendrick has a flow, but I don't feel like I don't think he was reheating songs up. This sounds like Drake reheated a bunch of concepts that he's already done before. It's 1 a.m. in Albany, it's 2 a.m. 2 a.m. and whatever. And it's like, yo, again and again and again and again and again, I'm hitting these same things. And I'm like, dog, this is why you lost the battle. This is what they was talking about in the battle. Yo, we just watched the Super Bowl show you why you lost. You took 2 years and you came back with this? No. I can't. Yo, my teachers were just too high for this, but I think
that might have been it though. You know, because
you sound like a fan who was disappointed.
Wildly disappointed. But I'm also a fan who I think he is capable of better than what he just did, because he's done better than what he just did. So, as an artist, why aren't you pushing to be something better? I feel like the artists that I really gravitate towards are artists who like, yo, that was my last joint. You want to hear me do that stuff? I already did that. You listen to that last album. Those are what that's like GOAT energy. GOAT energy is, you want to hear me do that? Check my last album.
But I would have to say the artists who do that aren't necessarily holding the genre up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't rely on them to give you what the people want across the board, like unilaterally. So to me, it's kind of like Drake kind of has to conform to what people, and not all people, but just like a form of it. And I feel like that's part of the 48 tracks that we got. Like, it's kind of like, pick something from here, because naturally, like, he is that type of just presence where like someone's gonna enjoy something from this.
But if you're an artist who's that big, why do you have to conform to anything? You too big to conform to stuff. The industry should be conforming to you.
He wouldn't even admit to conforming. He wouldn't even say that.
The reality is that Drake is a pop artist, and he does pop music. Pop is short for popular. Mm-hmm. And so the job of a popular artist is to maintain popularity. He's not designed to to push the envelopes in any genre, right? Except how can I be more popular? How can I be more of what I already am?
Yeah, but that's business. That's not artist. That's business. Like, it comes hard to respect it, right? Because if we're talking like, you're talking like a Michael Jackson, right? Michael Jackson elevated. He would do something and be like, I'm done with it. I'm on to my next. Prince, I'll do this thing. I'm on to my next. Outkast. When we talk about hip hop, popular pop artists. You can't say Outkast wasn't pop. I mean, and that's respectfully, right?
I would argue that Prince wasn't pop at large portions of his career. Prince was not pop. Prince was he was R&B, he was rock.
Yeah, definitely rock for a
and he had a lot of trash albums.
Okay, but here's the thing. Trash albums, but I feel like besides like popular and pop music, I feel like pop is also like the merging of genres for a wider appeal, right? I'm gonna be rapping, I'm gonna be R&B at the same time to be wider. I'm gonna be rapping, I'm gonna be rock and roll to be wider.
I'm gonna lose parts of myself to be more popular.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's losing parts of yourself though. You don't have to lose parts of yourself to be wider. You just doing simultaneous. Beyonce, I'm gonna do R&B over country music. Did she lose part of herself to do that? She elevated. She's doing something she ain't never done before.
So Beyonce is the definition of pop, though.
Right. But then, okay, if Beyonce is definition of pop, then that's a
definition of popular.
But it's pop and popular, right? Because it could be pop and nobody gives a shit. So you could be pop. So she made pop music that worked, but she did it also without having to reheat single
her own
ladies.
nachos. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that the Beyonce thing is a little tough also because if you go to radio programmers in Nashville
Mhm.
and ask them if they were playing her record or if they were willing to play her record, that was a whole other conversation.
Yeah, but
And so when we talk about like genre bending,
Mhm.
you have to talk about the business of genre bending. You have to talk about the class, the race of genre bending. And I think so when we talk about Drake, I like he came in as a rapper. He's still a rapper. He's still doing the same thing. We actually, I mean, I think the two of us on this panel, right? We like the rap album,
Mhm.
and the other experimental albums we were kind of like, okay on. But he's doing what he started doing.